Monday morning in the city that never sleeps, the city of Lagos. We are here precisely in Ogba Ikeja, and I'm with my wonderful people here this morning. We have Mr. Raphael, we have Mr. Sunday, Mr. Matthew, Mr. Felix, Mr. Samuel. They're all here to do justice to the newspaper headlines this morning. We are going to move over to the newspaper headlines, but before that, I will say a big welcome everyone that has been watching and has subscribed to Flip TV. A big welcome everyone in Nigeria and also in the diaspora. Let's move over to the newspaper headlines this wonderful morning. We have the Daily Sun newspaper beside the masthead. Dokubos Biafra group tackles Buhari over description of Igbo as dots in a circle. Dokubos Biafra group tackles Buhari over description of Igbo as dots in a circle. The main headline this morning on the Daily Sun newspaper: Opera over plan to reopen grazing route. Opera over plan to reopen grazing route. It will set Nigeria on fire. NEF, Afenifere, Igbo groups warn federal government. It will set Nigeria on fire. Afenifere, NEF, Igbo groups warns federal government. Insist on open grazing not permissible now. Anonymous letter threatening mayhem over ban in Delta State. It was shocking that yesterday there was an anonymous letter that was purported to be from suspected Fulani herdsmen threatening mayhem in Delta State. They are insisting that the governors rescind the decision of open grazing ban in the south. They are threatening the indigenous of Delta State and are telling the governors that they should stop the ban on open grazing. State security, don't abandon your responsibility. Masari Kaigama Group charge Buhari. State security, don't abandon your responsibility. Masari Kaigama Group charge Buhari. Reverend sister, another woman abducted in Imo Church. Reverend sister, another woman abducted in Imo Church. APC president must address separatist agitations, not use of military. APC president must address separatist agitations, not use of military. That is from Oyegun. NRC begins Lagos Ibadan train service tomorrow. That is wonderful news. NRC begins Lagos Ibadan train service tomorrow. Face off imminent in Senate over fresh ban, fresh loan request. Face off in Senate over fresh loan request. Buhari Kalu greet Abdul Salam at 79. Absalami, today is his birthday, 79. He's clocked 79. Twitter ban. Governor officials orders switch to Indian app. Cool. Twitter ban. Government officials order switch to Indian app. Cool. Let's move over to the Punch newspaper this morning. Buhari's cow routes gazette doesn't exist. Grazing ban stays, says state. Buhari's cow routes gazette doesn't exist. Grazing ban stays, says states. Show us grazing route in Ondo if it exists. Akeredolu tells federal government. Show us grazing route in Ondo if it exists. Akeredolu tells federal government. No part of Benue designated as grazing route, says Governor Otom. No part of Benue State designated as grazing route, says Governor Otom of Benue State. Law, not a federal law. Buhari lacks powers to implement it. That's from a senator. Let's move over to the Tribune newspaper this morning. The Tribune is saying food prices soar, push more Nigerians into poverty. Food prices soar as it pushes more Nigerians into poverty. Farmers in Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto blame banditry, kidnapping. Federal government speaks on recovery plan. Federal government speaks on recovering plan. Amnesty International, Serap, 69 other CSOs ask Buhari to reverse ban on Twitter. Amnesty International, Serap, 69 other CSOs ask Buhari to reverse ban on Twitter. Bandits abduct 8 family members in Zaria. Convoke Sovereign National Conference. Decentralized police. Anglican Church tells FG. Convoke Sovereign National Conference. Destabilized police. Anglican Church tells federal government. Netanyahu ousted as Israel approves new government. Prime Minister of Israel has been ousted as Israel has approved a new government. Netanyahu ousted as Israel approves new government. Okay, let's move over lastly to the Vanguard newspaper. June 12, this isn't democracy we fought for, says Okpadokun. June 12, this isn't democracy we fought for, says Okpadokun. 2023, Tinubu's posters flood Abuja. Tinubu's posters flood Abuja. The main headline on the Vanguard newspaper this morning: regional groups raise dust over Buhari's June 12th speech. Regional groups raise dust over Buhari's June 12th speech. Ban on open grazing, apprehension as herdsmen threaten to attack Delta State. Okay, let's move over to our review this morning. Have with me, Mr. Matthew. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Christian.
There's a threat by suspected Fulani, I would say herdsmen, threatening to attack Delta State. How do you look at that from that part of the country?
Thank you very much. Matthew is the name. I think it's a fallout of the position of Mr. President. The situation where Mr. President have openly supported open grazing. I think that is giving the Fulani the effrontery to start acting in that manner of impunity. Because if the president have said that he have ordered the Attorney General of the Federation to kickstart the process of recovering the grazing routes, it speaks volume of what he want to do. And since he have said that, you have seen that the Fulanis are beginning to get more, becoming more energetic. Because ordinarily, why should any Fulani movement, any Fulani group, whichever name, whatever name they go by, start threatening a state like Delta State? I can understand perhaps because Delta State was a choice of the governors, Southern Governor Forum, where they reached the resolution of banning open grazing. Perhaps that's the reason they are threatening Delta State. What I can understand, they have asked the Delta State governor to change his position. And even as we speak, the Delta State governor have not yet spoken. But I encourage him to come out openly and boldly to maintain his position and sustain that position. Because the Fulani cannot cow us. The Fulani cannot intimidate us. The Fulani cannot dictate for everybody. If we are saying that in this 21st century that open grazing is no longer fashionable, that you cannot leverage on freedom of movement as enshrined by in the constitution to be telling us that you have to move with your cattle. If you are talking about freedom of movement, it does not extend to moving along with your cattle. I'm looking at the constitution. It is the governor that has the right to decide how the land is apportioned. So if the governors are saying that in our jurisdiction, in our respective jurisdiction in the south, we do not want open grazing, I think it's in tandem with the constitution. I think it is they are on the right side of the constitution. And I think the president should jettison this outdated system of grazing that have no place in the modern world. So for me, what I want to say is that the Delta State government should come out openly to maintain the earlier position that they support anti-open grazing. And I would say that they should put measures in place.
What kind of measures?
Security measures. Because they should not take the threat as a trivial issue. They should put measures in place to make sure that they guide the security to protect life and property in Delta State and any other place for that matter. Because Fulani have proven that they have that potency of force to attack, to maim, to kill, to abduct, to rape, and all manner of crime and criminality. So to that extent, they should not take this threat as a trivial issue. We have seen how Fulani threatened, how they attempted to assassinate the Benue State governor. And the people that tried that assassination attempt go by the name of Fulani Nationality Movement. So to that extent, I think the Delta State government should not see it as a trivial issue. They should ensure that they put measures in place to protect the citizens, to protect life and property.
Okay, now if it were Twitter, they will have banned Twitter. Because the reason why they say they banned Twitter is because of hate speech and something that caused uprising in the country. This statement by this alleged letter by this Fulani group, what should the government do on that hate speech of the thing?
Our government is not justified. They are not fair in handling issues in Nigeria. But our standard globally, the global terrorism, they say Fulani, they are the fourth most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. And to that extent, I think the government of Nigeria know who the Fulani are. What they needed to do is to kickstart the process of tagging Fulani terrorist organization, and let it be gazetted. Because you cannot be cohabiting with people. The government itself, even Mr. President, have acknowledged that Fulani moved from all the way from Sahel region into Nigeria. Ganduje has said that the way to stop the clashes is to stop the mass exodus of Fulani from other neighboring countries. And Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari have said that these Fulani herdsmen who with AK-47 and some other dangerous weapons are foreign herders. So if the government have acknowledged and accepted that there are herders who with AK-47, and in the we see how the federal government is the one that is managing the border, that should determine who should come into the country and who should not come in. So if they have failed in that responsibility, it means there is a dereliction of duty on their own part, is negligent on their own part. They should take the blame. And even as they are taking the blame, the government should recognize that Fulani herdsmen, they are terrorists in nature.
Okay, one more question. Ngige came out and he said that the federal government, Buhari's government, has been fair to the Igbos.
You see, Ngige is only trying to protect his job. By our standard, I read what Ngige said. He mentioned about the southeastern part of the country being adequately and appropriately represented in the federal in the FEC, Federal Executive Council. Quite agreed. Just like any other state, the hand of the president is tied, because the constitution says that you must have each state represented in that FEC. So Mr. President have not done any state any favor by giving them some ministerial slots. He's only complying with the tenets of the constitution. Having said that, where I fought in Ngige is where he was trying to say that if the southeastern part of the country, if they are not rewarded with other positions, I want to correct Ngige on that. Because if you are giving an Igbo man, perhaps IG of police, perhaps chief of army staff, perhaps chief of naval staff, perhaps chief of air staff, it is not a question of reward, because federal character guarantee that they should be fairly represented in every strata, not just
every strata.
Anywhere you are making an appointment, federal character say that every section, every region should be fairly represented. And if you look at the security position, that have about 70 positions, the southeast is not represented in any way at all. So to that extent, Ngige is totally wrong. Okay. They are looking at Obasanjo's open letter, where he was saying that, trying to admonish the president. In as much as most of the issues he raised are genuine, are paramount, they are prevailing issues currently. But I will advise an Obasanjo to stop dragging the media space with us, because Obasanjo have unfettered access to Aso Rock. Obasanjo can go to Aso Rock at will to admonish Muhammadu Buhari, to advise him. So I think he's playing to the gallery by coming to the media. This is without prejudice to the issues he raised. The issue is raised, some other persons have said it before. I'm not questioning that what he said is wrong. But I see him as playing to the gallery. I see him as trying to win sentiment, to whip up sentiment. I see him as somebody who is trying to curry popularity. Because for me, if you decide to go to Aso Rock to meet a Buhari and advise him on open grazing, on insecurity, on the Fulani herders host community clashes, nobody will stop him from getting access to Aso Rock. So why is he going to the media to start ventilating that? So for me, Obasanjo should stop dragging the media space with us. He should go to the president and advise him.
Any final statement?
The final statement is this: the government should allow the voice of people to be heard. Just as recently, you see the answers, the way they disperse. Let me quickly just say that. You see, our government, this government is killing democracy. The reason is not far-fetched. Look at what transpired in Abuja. As at the same time, Nigerian police were using tear gas to disperse anti-government protesters. People were protesting for good governance. They were providing cover for
Okay, sorry for that break in transmission. It's due to technical difficulties. We're having issues with the network. We're having issues with the network. I want to say a big thank you to all those that have been commenting. I have Mimi Peace here, very, very consistent and frequent commentator on this show. I have with me Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Let's look at the review of what happened on Saturday, how the police handled the protest, the June 12 protest.
Well, the police were not professional in handling issues. They were politically motivated by our president. They didn't actually handle the way they should handle it. What I expected in a democratic setting, when they are protesting, the government will look at this thing these people are protesting. Are they actually protesting the right thing? Are they criticizing us? Where did we get it right? Or are they saying the right thing or not? Rather, they were even protecting those that were for Buhari and throwing tear gas to those that were protesting against our president.
Tear gas against those that are protesting against Buhari.
Buhari. Yeah, you know.
Regarding those that were protesting for Buhari.
No, against those people in Lagos. They say Buhari must go. Buhari must go. Buhari must go. The CP, the Commissioner of Police, came on here and said he made some things which was not accepted. But the thing is this: is that in a sane society, they allow people to what? To protest, to air their view, to say that this area the government is doing is wrong. Look at Oyo State. The governor came out, he addressed the people and he left. Did you hear anything of violence? Did you hear anything went wrong? It was this government is destroying democracy. And they are professing that they are practicing democracy. They are destroying democracy. And this will not help us. This will not help us. The June 12th they proclaim is that they are only doing it from the lip of mouth. They are not doing it as the re-election that was done free and fair in 1993. I remember then when we are saying Jakabi Olawale, he will not use our money to play tete. He will not use our money. He will not be tribalistic. He will not be this. Abiola then, both the Igbos, both the Hausas came out to vote for him. What do we have now? You cannot protest or say anything against this government. They will go after you. That's my take about that June 12th.
Delta State is under threat now. We heard that a group wrote a letter that they are going to cause mayhem in Delta State. And
you know,
coming from the Fulani.
No, see, the issue now is that it's like a cat sleeping and a rat goes to bite his tail. If they try it in Delta State, they will know that there is fire in Delta State. They want to allow the sleeping dog. Let them allow the sleeping dog to lie.
They told the governor that they should rescind the open grazing ban law.
They cannot dictate for Delta State. They cannot dictate for Delta State. Delta State belongs to the people. The people have spoken. The people have spoken. The South people have spoken. What is the problem? What is the problem? The problem on Ghana is that the president is the one giving them backup. Is the one that is supporting them. If you look at the interview granted by the president, Arise TV, granted by NTA, the broadcast, you will discover that the body language of the president is supporting Fulanis. He's supporting Fulanis. If you look at the Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, you will see that he's misleading Mr. President. He's misleading Mr. President. He's not telling him the legal aspects of it. You will see Mr. President addressing the Igbos at the IPOB. That the IPOB they have spare parts in all parts of Nigeria. IPOB is just a section of the Igbos that comes out and says that this is injustice. We are maltreating our people. You are maltreating our people. The president should not be misled. But we have seen from the body language that the president is a sectional president. And this will not be accepted by the people of Nigeria. You understand? Nigeria belongs to everybody. Our president is a chief servant, and we are the people that elected him. The reverse is the case, my brother. When you are called to serve, our president is being paid by taxpayers' money. You understand? All the rest of people are being paid by taxpayers' money. And when you don't listen to people from the taxpayers, it means that you are using a dictatorship to do what? To suppress the people, and that will not go well. For Ngige, I have this to tell him. The tenure of Muhammadu Buhari will lapse.
Okay.
And for him not defending his people, for him not talking about his people, but he's talking because of his selfish interest, structural infrastructure. But when his government, when their tenure goes, he's going to suffer for it.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, more information. If you want to get more conversation and updates, you can follow us on Facebook, Flip TV on Facebook. More comments, conversation, and updates you can get from that point. I want to say a big thank you to Mimi Peace. She has been a frequent commentator on this platform, and also Eric Info. A big thank you for being effective on the platform. And I also have Mr. Victor Obuike. Mr. Victor Obuike, sorry for that name if I didn't call it well. First round chat. Okay, a big thank you. Maswali Gechuku, Henry Best, Daniel Sose, Eric Info, and everyone that has been. You can keep on commenting on the program this morning. I have Mr. Raphael with me. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chuku.
The great guy.
Yeah,
I thought you honorable that time.
I rejected it because I hate holding public position in Nigeria because they are all corrupt. It's a position that is meant for corrupt people, bad people with bad intentions.
But it was not originally meant.
It wasn't originally meant for them. But I don't know how they all of a sudden changed. Right from the time immemorial, from the first republic. That was why the first revolutionary in history of Nigeria struck. We talk about the person of Chukwu Makaduna and Zogo, Hassan Katsina, and the rest of them. This corruption started from then till today. It grows, increases, until today it has gotten to this position whereby we are making something from nothing. We are making somebody from nobody, a nobody who is masquerading himself as a Nigerian president. Let me tell you, it should be a major topic again all over the social media because we are trying to create a phenomenon from somebody that is not supposed to be a phenomenal somebody. A phenomenon, let me tell you, Buhari is not supposed to be a phenomenon. It shouldn't be a puzzle, man.
A hero.
A hero? No. It doesn't worth it. No, it doesn't worth. Someone that someone that cannot even speak good English. A president. Look at the kind of mockery Robert Mugabe gave him in 2017, 2018 or 17. He said, "Look at your president. You could not, Nigerians. You are the cause of this problem." That was after AU summit in Abuja. He insulted him because the man. Let me tell you, we are creating something from nothing. You see one thing with him, he is stupid. Why? Stupidity meaning you know that this is truth. You heard that this is truth. You have seen that this is truth. You are still saying it's a lie. Buhari knows that.
Can you give an instance?
Let me give you an instance. Denial of the obvious is what has made this regime unbearable to Nigerians. Denial of the obvious is what has made this regime unbearable to Nigerians. You killed Igbo man, you said no, he's a terrorist. The whole world said no, they are secessionists or whatever you call them. They are agitating for their own rights. It is the constitutional right of any man in the world to say, I don't belong to Europe. I'm an Asian now. I don't belong to Asia. I'm an American now. I don't belong to Yoruba now. I'm an Egun now. I'm not Egun now. I'm an Hausa man. It is a constitutional right of any citizen in this country to do so. But why must we prescribe a whole section of people who have not hurt cockroach, cricket in their life before that they are terrorists? How could you call Igbo man a terrorist? Now you say that we are like a dot in a circle again. To Fiakwa, I reject it back to sender. your community, your people, your race, your kinsmen are dots in a circle, not Igbo man. So feed me back.
How the police handle the protest on Saturday? How do you look at it?
The protests in at Ojota, they are, well, it has exhumed another international shame. Ghost of international shame. It has exhumed another international shame on Nigeria, that people that are, converging, that are massing up to express themselves over what happened 28 years ago. Do you understand? Could not be allowed to express themselves. Over what happened 28 years ago, they are trying to use it to compare it to what is happening currently. That should have allowed them to exercise their civility.
Their civil rights.
Civility, yes, their civil rights. It is constitutional. United Nations, ECOWAS, even Nigeria. It is in the law there. Let me tell you, civil liberty organization, they know it. Transparency International, they know it. I'm now speaking out of Nigerian soil. So, if anybody come out to express his right, they will not allow him in this country, because somebody who is not a phenomenon, you people are making a phenomenon out of him, is in power. But let me tell you, it's not only in Lagos here, it happened right in Ibadan or your state. When Makinde, the governor there, he came out en masse and addressed the protesters in Ibadan. He spoke well. He addressed them against bad governance. He addressed them against insecurity. You can see that there are some good governors, we know, but they are trying to bend their attitude in such a way that federal government will not knock them.
Compare the attitude of the governors of the Southeast when we had sit-at-home order, Biafra sit-at-home order, and this June 12th from the Southeast.
The comparison, too far, because we are like trying to remember the heroes, the Igbos. Onwa Tuegu, Chukuma Kaduna Nzogu, Agu Ironsi, and many more of them. PC Okoye, he was killed at the airport here. Many Biafran heroes were remembered that day. So we can never, equal the both agitation or protest.
Makinde came and addressed these people, but during the sit-at-home order of Nnamdi Kanu, the governors were not doing anything.
Yes, thank you so much. Nobody was taken to the streets, no placard, no solidarity. People were so grieving. People were embittered. People were killed illegally. Extrajudiciary killing. Igbo man was killed and maimed in 1966, 67, 1970. Igbo man was killed. Unnecessary killings everywhere in the barrack. Operation Ochepu, led by the then Colonel Olusegun Obasanjo. Operation Ochepu. Every barracks in Nigeria, go and read books and know what we are saying. Every barracks in Nigeria, they went against Southeast military soldiers from the Southeast extraction were killed in the barracks all over Nigeria. Kaduna, Abeokuta, Agbara, everywhere there. Operation Ochepu affected many. Colonel Njoko died, PC Okoye died, many of them, there was mutiny in the whole barracks. So that mutiny was carried out by most of these living generals, you see. Let me tell you, this man from Taraba man, do you know him? What do you call that man? Danjuma, the one whose eyes they like that. T.Y. Danjuma. The among Murtala Mohammed Ramat, late. The among the living Nigerian head of state. Go on, I don't think he's there. He's still alive. All of them, Abdul Salam Abak, all those ones are, all of them. Killing of Igbos was what we protested on 31st. That's why we sat at home. So you can't equate two of them. You can't compare two of them. They are two different things. The Igbos were grieving how many days ago? Almost 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago now. At home, everybody sat down. Some cook off Sarah. Some were very, very embittered because they lost their loved one, like myself. I lost the most handsome man in my town. His name is Chidozie Okechukwu Atuaya, a very handsome guy. He died at the age of 22, 23. They took him unaware. This guy died during the war. We molded his image in our compound. The most handsome man my community has ever gotten. No reincarnation yet. The boy they say he reincarnated. I don't think the handsomeness of that guy equated his own. No, it does not equate his own. We lost many, and then many of them named them in my own family. No Igbo man that has not been affected by civil war. Let me tell you, what happened in that first was an echo of the previous war fought by the Igbos. For 6 months, Igbos were busy defending their land. No retreat, no surrender. Going back, Nigerians were coming. They were going. This was the fight. Nigeria will come. They will go retreat. So we keep on advancing, and this is where God has taken us today. And then I can tell you what is happening currently is that the whole regions that fought Igbo nation are very jealous. They think that after the war we all will just sit back and become useless because they gave us 20 naira. They gave my father, my uncle 20 naira to start life, 20 pounds. Then they think that all of us will just lie down and sleep and say, "Whoa, no, don't accept defeat. Never say I am down. Say I am up." Let me tell you, that's one thing with God. God says when people are saying there is cast down, what do you say as a Christian? There is a lifting because our God is able. Come on.
Ngige says that the federal government has been fair to the Igbos.
Federal government has been fair to the family of Chris Ngige in Alo. Buhari has been so fair with Patrick Chris Ngige because is that his name? Thank you. The current Minister of Labour. Buhari regime is fair with Alo people. Buhari regime is fair with Ngige's family. Buhari regime is fair with his wife. Buhari regime is very, very fair and kind to his son and daughters. Let me tell you,
Ngige from every state.
Wait.
State has a representative.
Ngige is a beneficiary, one of the beneficiaries of this regime. Two, you don't expect him to say bad of this regime. They all kill and put in one bag, in one pocket. So you don't expect him to sing another tune. What Ngige is saying to some other people in some circle, in some area, is right. Because Ngige must be very, very loyal to his master, as Obasanjo is loyal to his master. Obasanjo knows that all is not well. Ngige knows that all is not well. He carried out his biabia, he come out on the screen without his biabia. He's talking lie. I saw him yesterday when he was I said, look at you. Because he knows all is not well. I think you understand. It's not all about carrying biabia. Can you say the truth with biabia? When you see a foolish man who denies himself, who denies himself foolishness, that person is a fool. If you are a fool and tell the whole world, come, I'm a fool, they will help you work it out. No, on modality on how to be a wise man, people will help you. When you are a foolish man and you see that you are denying the obvious, which is the plague that has infested this regime, is that this regime is bad. And they said no, it's good. We say it's bad. He said no, open grazing. This man is revisiting it again. He's trying to grab grazing route by force for federal government. Something that the whole governors agreed some 3 weeks ago that they are not going to do that. They said there will be open grazing again. There will be grazing routes. Buhari, oh my God, in 1804, Osman Danfodio started his own campaign. Wherever he conquers, he will install Emirates there. Anywhere he conquers, Emirates, Sokoto, Emirates, Bauchi, Emirates, everywhere. He failed at Northeast. He came back after the Northeast. He come down at Benue axis there. Cut his head. Do you know what? He now went to Senegambia, Futajalon Island, and invited the whole Fulani communities. Please, Ottoman Danfodio from here, they say yes. He died 200 years ago, they say yes. So it's okay, let us go and kill those people that killed him. Fulani man can never forget. Fulani man can never forgive. Let me tell you, I don't think that guy should be a phenomenon. Let us make something good out of good thing. Let us not create something good out of bad thing. Buhari is not supposed to be a phenomenon.
Thank you very much. Wonderful from Mr. Okay. Sorry.
1 minute, I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Sunday. Good
morning, everyone.
How are you?
How
are you
doing? Good morning, sir. Please, this morning.
Let's move straight.
Wait, I want to appreciate my people. People wait on me.
Just one minute.
Yes.
1 minute.
See, I want to appreciate everyone. Put my knee on the ground. As I put my knee on the ground, God will wipe those people that fight for me, that want me to be and I know God will Amen. Good morning. I appreciate everyone. I love my viewer. That's why I will always find my time to come here to talk to people. I'm not talking to even the government itself. Those ones, what they need now is maybe if you put gun for their head.
Did you go for the protest?
We went there. I went to Ojota.
How did the police behave?
rugged. Oh, you know that. That is when I was a guy that called it. That is small daughter. He was saying that he tell his mama, say the mama should not be angry with him. That the mother tell him that he should not go out. Say, but he called and say, "Omo, teacher. Don't be offended. You tell me not to go out, but because of the brutality of police, he will not sit down and allow police to clamp down on his fellow youth. Many people come out. We talk about to Savage, they come out. That's what I'm telling you now. I said they were throwing tear gas in the face of people in a peaceful protest. You understand? That is a country we find ourselves with beasts. Many of our leaders are beasts. I expect this Showolu of Lagos State who are changing mentality. After they stammer, you know they stammer before, after he starts. If they invite, I go to stammer. Now he still use another way again. You don't know that people are waiting for him. You don't understand? If you like, anywhere where you go, people they walk out for road, they die. If you walk out for motor, you enter motor, maybe they tap to your vehicle, accident happen, you go die. Police go shoot you, they will call them accidental bullet discharge, you go die. You sleep, you no go wake up, you go die. Until that's why I like Arab youth. I always said it. You see Arab youth, I love Arab youth with all my heart because they don't take shit for their government.
They will change them.
They will change them for everybody, all the government, both you president, minister, Arab youth. That's why I see that many Arab nations is more than Nigeria. Because Nigeria, what do we know? See all of them, what did they shout for? Now football, all those way they make me so. They are not talking about the situation facing Nigeria. And though many of them don't come out on Saturday, the day has. They play bad Nigeria.
Here was empty.
Here was empty, but they are afraid not to die because of bad Nigeria. They want to play bad Nigeria because of football. Football that many of them have made their money. That is why I only want to advise the government, if they try, where you go know that Nigeria will shut down more than what they shut down the weakness yesterday, is to close all the bet Nigeria, anything about sport betting for Nigeria. My brother, you go know say many of our youth, the craze where they are in bet Nigeria, they come and dance sometimes. If government mistakenly close any bet station in this country, say no bet anything about bet sport betting for Nigeria, you go know say people where they walk out for road, you go know say everybody don't mad. You don't understand now? You go know say people don't mad. They don't mad. Everybody don't mad. May they try them. That's the only way. If Buhari say he want to bring out the beast in the youth, may try in bed station. What did they talk?
Ngige is saying that the Igbos have benefited in Buhari's government.
That one is because of the money he has been stealing. They call him Minister of Labour.
Not benefited.
What are Igbo benefiting from Buhari killing of our youth, killing of our innocent brother? What are Buhari do? Is it to send repentant Boko Haram to the east, to the south to kill our brothers and sisters, and still recruit the herdsmen with AK-47? Buhari is aware of the operation of the herdsmen. That is why something that the whole region fight against, that we stand against open grazing. Buhari is still supporting open grazing in this 21st century. You don't understand? This time we are, Buhari is still fighting for open grazing because he has tell you that he cannot fight in people. That's why I say he shall never be well with the certain governors.
Right?
They are fighting their people, but Buhari have openly in Aras TV, NTA, that we should not expect him to fight Iflani people. Say Governor Tom said they are in people. Say yes, he is among the Iflani, and they should not expect him to fight Iflani people. He said it though. If you go and check it out, you see the comment there. He said we should not expect him to fight in your family, but he shall never be one with this, all the eastern governor, southern governor, western governor, where they allow because of 13%, they will come take the life of their citizens. And they go sit down with Hausa people, they laugh, they flat it, and you can't expect to make a laugh with them. You don't go better for them. Oh.
Okay, one more question. Tinubu posters 2023 presidential election in Abuja floods Abuja.
That one, the Abuja, how many people? You guys are say Nigeria, this country, what did they need now? Now, exile. Everybody should go for exile and let them leave the country be like desert. Everybody, you understand? Because this one, nothing like country for this place. Nothing there for this country. We are fighting against, that's why I tell you that day, we are fighting against insecurity. The government bring Twitter ban. Everybody attention, come out for Twitter ban. Oh, come out for insecurity. Where did everybody attention go to? Twitter ban. And after Twitter ban, they now remember that Buhari, will change democracy from May 29 to June 12th. He said that one. Now they want to use June 12th as a protest day. Buhari begin. That is when, since 2015, Buhari will make 2 interviews in 2 days. During lockdown, everybody they beg him. He make interview, and I know that Arise interview is a propaganda. Then they have already rehearsed the word. They rehearse it. We are not a baby. We are in a civilization world. I'm not afraid of Buhari, and I'm not afraid of the security. Mama, Mumu Mangalu, everybody, all the people in Aso Rock, Malamio, everybody, they are not feeding me. They know me. They know how they live. They don't know me. They don't know how they live. They don't know what I'm passing through.
Lastly, with that interview, that person sitting there, is it Buhari?
Okay, I don't tell you before. You know that you ask me something or something like that. I tell you, anybody that is in that place, the name we will know. 2015, which name be that? Which name? Buhari name. Even though they like, make them put poster, make them put chair. Because you see where magic people, if magic people want to do magic, some of them go wear iron. They go do like this. That iron there for their leg. They go say they no reach, but that iron down there for their trans already. That is the confused. That's why Nigeria no one gets sense. Everything, every day. But I thank God, I appreciate many of our youth. They say we must take it back and Buhari must go.
Okay.
The second tenure, the 2 years that remain for this Buhari, I want to make it as a prophecy to all of you. It's a disaster. If you no wake up, because how can Buhari come out openly in national TV and tell the whole world that EndSARS is to remove him from office? He never talk about the June 12 protest. Oh. He go talk about June 12 protest. Say you want to kill family. You go hear him because the man in Aso Rock, that man where they there. One man say there is demon in Aso Rock and demon have already swallowed. That's even though Obasanjo will pass herself. The demon don't swallow him. Only why they see him today. I see him for one place. See him. Now only where you see him today. Oh, this one money don't come up for there. See him for here. Where they say Obasanjo is there here. See him. All of them. That's why they see them. Whether they have any important thing, when money will come, they will feed their family. But they will frustrate other people. They will send soldier, police to go and pour tear gas in the peaceful protester. Are they human beings? Those people are beasts. And very soon the youth will treat them like beasts.
Okay.
Okay? You people cannot kill everybody. As you see also, we are ready to die. Other than that, Benny, man, no swear for them again because they swear say God on the answers more. Many of them go through that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sunday. Great one from Mr. Sunday. I have Mr. Samuel with me. Good morning, Mr. Samuel.
Good morning, Mr. Christian Chuku. My name is Samuel.
A great guy with me here this morning.
Thank you very much.
Let's look at Ngige's statement saying that Buhari or the government of Buhari has been fair to the Southeasterners. How do you look at it? He said, at least Federal Executive Council, every state is being represented. Every state in Igbo is being represented in that council.
In replying the statement of Chris Ngige, let me quote from the words of Dr. N.C. Abba, which happened to be a lecturer in the Department of Political Science in Nnamdi Azikiwe University. He said that the problem of an Igbo man is an Igbo man. Ngige is part of the allied structure that has characterized the Nigerian landscape with double standard and hypocrisy. So what I should have asked Ngige is he should bring out all the names of all portfolio members, cutting from federal ministries to appointments with the security apparatus to envoys, embassies, cut across.
No, he said in the past they had those positions that it's not compulsory that they still have it now.
Ngige is not sound. They went to some of this, I don't like insulting people, especially when they are elderly people. But the statistics has shown that about 69.8% of all federal ministry from 1960 to 2021 has been occupied by the North. I think 69.8%. Yes. So what I mean is, if you check the post of the presidency to the vice president to the Senate to House of Rep to Chief of Army Staff to Navy to Air Force to DSS to prison, you now go to those that have represented the high commissions. Yes. So when you pick them, pick their ethnicity between North and South as a whole, from the then federal military government. The North in totality, it's a statistical database that was rigorous before we compiled out, has occupied almost 70%. So where did Ngige get his analysis from? Apart from the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan that actively, and that of Obasanjo, that actively had the Southeasterners play critical roles in occupying positions, go and check from 1960 down all positions. I don't say you should go and pick some. I mean generally positions, both the one that was stipulated in the constitution to represent the federal character and the ones that the federal character issue was silent about. So you go and pick those positions from your Air Force to your Navy, to go and pick all of them, to your Federal Ministry of Water, to your finance, pick them, be analyzing ethnicity from 1960 till date. So where did Ngige come with it? You see, as a young graduate when I left school, even till now, I contemplated suicide at the point, because when you've taken your time to do more and thinking that you either gain a good job or probably have a livelihood, and what you see is the other way around, you know, it's discouraging that you see people who don't even know their left from their right staying in governmental position and dishing out fallacies and lies because they are enjoying the system.
Professors.
That's what I'm saying. As long as they are enjoying the system, they don't care about what they've learned. The system pays them. So and that's why most times when I listen to some of these commentaries, it's laughable.
Okay, let's look at the insistence of this government on applying this anti-grazing route in the country. The government is still insisting on that.
You see, the federal government, just like every other government, is just playing to the gallery. You see, when I heard the presidential statement on June 12, which was political because of the protest, the president and his legal advisors, the legal advisor of the president or the political advisors are so daft. The Open Grazing Gazette was not for Nigeria. It was a promulgation of 1964 under the then premier of the northern region, in person of Ahmadu Bello. So you see, when you know people that are broad in mind, they are always coming out with fallacies. That promulgation was as a result of what happened within the northern region. So it's not binding on the southern parts. Are you getting? So I've never read anywhere in the constitution that was amended in 1999 constitution that talks about a grazing bill or a grazing act. Section 5 of the Nigerian constitution stipulates categorically that the powers of making law and amendment of such reside within the National Assembly. And as such, if there is anything of such that will happen, from the constitution I'm holding up, it is silent, and there's nothing like grazing bill or grazing law. Now, that's the same constitution now gave the powers of land use acts to the state governors that have the sole monopoly of how to allocate lands and what to do with all that. So the law that they are referring, the president might not be a professor of law. It is meant on those who are surrounding him to enlighten him. I'm not sure they consulted Professor Saga. I've been reading his book before I even gained admission. Would not have advised the president on that notion. So it would have been another caucus.
The president is a professor.
The vice president that I know, I'm not sure, was privileged to that statement of the president. It would have been within the northern element of the spare part comparison of one particular. You see, now to even make it worse, section 1 subsection 3 of the Nigerian constitution stipulate that anything that is not consistent or is not written within the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall be declared null and void. So the president or even Malami do not have the prerogative of power to now say they want to bring a gazette that is not within the constitutional framework. It was only a northern thing by Ahmadu Bello in the north. Even as at that point, the middle belt was not even part of most of this rubbish they are talking about. So the middle belt, as at that time, Delta State was not created. Cross River State, Akwa Ibom State was created, I think 1987 or 88 or so. So the promulgation of 1964 cannot be binding on a state that was not even in existence. So you let logic stand on yourself when you're coming to stand a legal ground on what never existed. So that promulgation, in legal perspective, it is not inconsequential and constitutionally declared null and void. It never happened in Nigeria, because a law of Sharia or banning of bar is not binding in Lagos, and as such, some laws in Lagos, it cannot be binding in the north. So the president was not advised. That is why I'm always crying when I hear some statement. I summarize it to be an illiterate speech. So those things cannot be binded. And in fact, to even make it worse, before such ratification will come to existence, it will be through a meeting that will be pushed from the National Assembly. So the president has not really done justice to that statement. So there's agenda.
How do you look at the attitude of the police on the just completed June 12 protest?
The police also is a suffering man, that the protesters want to help him from his suffering stage. But because they've been given with weapons of mass destruction and guns, he believes that gun he's carrying gave him monopoly to move him away from suffering. So most of the protest is even in favor of the police, their children, their relation, is for the betterment of the society. But what will you say to a people who their training ground itself is like that of a pig? So what kind of training would they have come out with to relate like other police in standard part of the world? So that's the problem you have when you have a people, when standard 6 or primary school start is used as a yardstick. These people, they need to watch American film, how police they take handle. They need to even watch American news, how police they take guide protesters. But our police are quick to shoot. But when you carry them to northeast, north central, they won't be able to walk. You see, that's the problem when madness is a norm in a particular society. So we will still teach the police and encourage them that the people protesting is protesting for the betterment of everybody. It is not for their own selfish interest. So the police should grow up and be supporting these people. That is what we should be encouraging them. And they should grow. And protest is a fundamental aspect of the human rights. So it's not about coming to say you are blocking. See, they should channel their energy to go into the bush in Oyo, Ogun, Ibarapa, to be fishing out the killer X-Men. So not the man that does not carry gun, a peaceful. You see, when you have people that are stupid, that are not sensitive to standard operation of policing, when it comes to a man that does not hold gun, what do you expect? What kind of training did the police pass through? What are the kind of psychology they would have allowed them? See, the police has been bastardized that he sees the civilian as his problem and the political class as his friend. Those are the kind of things the police have meant to pass through.
Any concluding statement?
The concluding statement is, if we've discovered that this entity called Nigeria is not working, where somebody will bring a promulgation of the northern region to now make it so that it will flow using the middle belt and the southern region, after the southern region has openly cleared the stand on that same subject of conversation, it simply means the person is not democratic and does not understand that time has passed where some of those routes has overtaken so many things, schools, hospitals. So that person should go and rethink himself and his advisors. It is a clear signal that the place, the setting itself is not working. And as such, if it's not working, we regionalize it so everybody goes their different path. Then if it's going to work, let us be factual in addressing the key issues that is affecting us. Not that some people will say one Nigeria, one everything. We've known that from 1960, we've never been one. In practical terms, we are not one. In theoretical terms, we are one. In order to make it work, let us sit. So, but you don't have a president that bring another thing in 1964, in 2021. That's madness of the highest order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel.
Thank you.
That's a great one from a great guy. I have another great guy with me here this morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Good
Christian.
morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning
Let's
to you.
take a look at the process on Saturday. Did you go?
I was on ground. I was on ground.
How did the police handle the process?
I want to commend the what's it called? The CP of Lagos State.
Hakim.
Yeah, Hakim. He was on ground to address us. At some point when we moved from Khalifa Wami Park towards Maryland, he said he came out and he said we should not vandalize anything. That see, as long as it's a peaceful protest, he would not tear gas us, and then his men would always support us. And then as at that time, his men were on ground to support us. We were not tear gas. We were not tear gas until.
I heard Ojota, there were some people that were
No,
arrested.
it was some hoodlums, but those that came for the protest, you know the normal things now. Government would want to send hoodlums to come hijack the process, so as to later blame the protesters. But see, every protesters that were on ground, that came for the purpose of protesting, we were all on ground to arrest those hoodlums and then handed over them to the police. And then again there was no rancor, there was no chaos. It was a peaceful protest, just to come out and express our mind.
You commend the police.
For the first time in Nigeria, even to us, when the police were coming to us, we were all being scared. But see, I had this mindset that today, all that I die, it is either I die or I scale through. And luckily for us, the man came and addressed us. It was due to when these touts wanted to hijack the process. When he died, that was when the police started tear gassing at them. Even at that, after this whole issue were being resolved, the commissioner of police still gave us escorts that escorted us from Khalifa Wemi Park down to Maryland. Escort, yes. The police guided us down to Maryland for the first time. Seriously.
That's a wonderful one.
That's a wonderful one. I commend them for that. I commend the CP of Lagos State for that. I don't know much about other states, but see, in this Lagos, in which I also joined the protest, I was so pleased.
You also commend the youth for coming out.
Yes, thank you. I commend the youth for standing their ground. Despite the threat from the IG of police. Not this now. It's a warning to Mr. Lucky that most times he only comes on here just to blab his mouth. He comes on here just to castigate the youth. I told him, I said I will be there. Now he was nowhere to be found. So it is not about you coming out to just talk, body.
Not a Nigerian youth.
So is he not suffering? Is he not paying bills? Is Nigerian issues not affecting him? So this one should not be about youth or no youth. Everybody is bearing the consequences. I commend the Nigerian youth for standing their ground despite the heavy presence of the military. I had one thing that day. I said it is either I return back home or I lose my life. That was what I did.
You earlier said that you are looking for somebody that will abduct you. Was it abduct?
Adopt him then.
Adopt him.
Then that one has been gone.
Okay. Let's look at the open grazing routes that this government is insisting on. How do you look at that policy?
I think Mr. Samuel has said it all. I think the president, to me, is not in line with what modern grazing. He is not in line with. How can you just make a law without the consent of the National Assembly? Okay, fine. Even if he wants to make it a law, transmit the bill to the National Assembly and see if it will scale through. It will not scale through. That is why he wants to use. That's why he wants to use force to make it a law. And now you know the democratic settings. Before you make a bill a law, it needs to scale through the National Assembly. I think Malami and Co is just getting it wrong. That is every bill, this policy is just because of their own interest. Because Malami house cow, the president to house cow. That's not what he said. He said, see, after his tenure, he will return to the farm. That's what. So now, before he wants to return to the farm, he wants to make sure that every policy that has been put in place is favorable to the northern region. So I think the president knows this. He knows that, but just that he wants to use his veto power. He wants to coerce people just to go along with his own policy, and then it will not work. It is not a military regime whereby you can just decree. It is a democratic settings. whereby everybody needs to be carried along by your policy.
Okay, one more. Ngige said that Buhari's government, this government has been fair to Igbos, and he made a case saying that every state is being represented in the Federal Executive Council. We have some Igbo people that are ministers. How do you look at that assertion of his?
Mr. Christian Chukwu, thank you. I believe Facing Ngige is not being fair with himself. He's not his truth. Just to come out and cover his boss lopsided appointments. Because as a public officer, you cannot speak against your boss. He is not his truth. Now, the post is holding. Is that one a sensitive post? Is he a key post in Nigeria? Minister of Labour. And now, yeah, that's why the fact he is the Minister of Labour. Now, how does he interact with what? With Labour? See, there are things I should not be saying on air. Ngige knows it all. He is not fair. The president's appointment does not reflect federal character. Nigerian Constitution simply stated that every person must be represented from every tribe, from every region. Now, look at the key positions. Aside from Goodluck Jonathan government that has been fair, and then OBJ government that has been fair, is this present regime or present administration fair to the Igbos? No, the answer is no.
Not really true.
As an Igbo man become a chief of police staff, chief of army staff, as an Igbo man become an IG of police, as an Igbo man become the boss of what? Immigration, the boss of DSS, the boss of Navy. No, the answer is no. So what is he not saying? Is it because Buhari gave him to become Minister of Labour? What is the portfolio Minister of Labour is useless. What does the Labour do? Does it's just smarter. It's just occupying space at the Federal Executive Council.
He's Minister of Labour.
That is which kind of labour? Do we have labour in Nigeria?
We are providing jobs.
Do we have labour in Nigeria? That is why Buhari placed him there. Do we have labour in Nigeria? Ngige is just among the Federal Executive Council, occupying space. Ngige too is a matter. It's not. It's now there are some certain issues, sensitive issues. Ngige will not contribute. So now see what is he now saying? Minister of Labour to me is no position. Now when you talk about sensitive position, you talk about defense, finance. These are defense, finance, NNPC. It's not you coming out to tell us Labour. Those three positions are very sensitive and vital. Why has the president not given the slot to an Igbo man? He gave Ngige what? Minister of Labour. He gave Obasanjo, Minister of Technology. Those ones are they positions? Just to welcome with now. Is Nigeria Obasanjo what's his name? I don't know. When last has he come out to speak? Aside from these two positions again, which Igbo man is holding a sensitive and vital position in Nigeria? The answer is no. Ngige knows the truth. Ngige knows the truth to himself.
Army spokesman for the army is an Igbo man.
Of recent, the spokesman is not the chief of army staff. It is what the chief of army staff tells him to do. That is what he will do.
Okay.
So these are two things.
Any random?
My own, in summary, is that if Nigeria can no longer hold as a country, let every region go their different way. That is it. Because the interest of one man, of Buhari, cannot lord over everybody. And again, I want to commend every protesters that came on ground to protest, and those that were on ground, those that came out despite the threat from the president. I say kudos to everyone.
Okay, thank you very much.
Aluta continue.
A great, wonderful guy. I have Mr. Chigose with me here this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Christian and SM viewers.
How was the weekend?
The weekend has been fantastic.
I just want a little review on the protest Saturday. How do you see the way police handle the protests?
You see, the issue of Nigeria is far beyond trooping on the streets of Lagos and start chanting some incantations or words. I think it's far beyond that. First of all, what are the manifestos you are presenting to the government? What is the content of your program? Is it that should be addressed first? And another thing is that is there any willingness on the part of the said government to listen to you? You see, when you understand that the man in the helm of affairs turns deaf ear to protesting and noise making, what other approach could you deploy to make sure that you drive home your point and you get what you are looking for? So, from my own point of reasoning, it is not just enough trooping on the streets of Lagos and start chanting some undefined words. After that, what next? Yes, probably it might continue today, the protest. I mean, after all this process of what do you call it? Then what is the impact? Having assessed all the previous protests, what have we been able to achieve? What impact has the previous protest made? That is the indices that will inform you whether we are making progress or not. You understand that even the previous, you saw how the NSAS protest ended. And have the government learned lesson from that? The question is no. Even most of the police, after the NSAS, still murdered the innocent citizens. So there is no any consciousness or deliberate attempt on the part of this administration to fix the system. That is a problem, fundamental issue we should address. Not just trooping to the streets without any defined objectivity. Now, how do you follow up? When you have a defined objectivity, you'll be able to know where you are, where you intend to be in so time. The correspondence, what has been the response of the government in regards to the policies, the cravings of the common, of course, of the average Nigerian presented to them during the NSAT protest? Has such issues been addressed? They are still lying fallow, and the government or whatever, look at what he's saying. Rather than fixing, deliberating on how to move the country forward. And he's just telling us that an Igbo man is just a dot in a cycle. Yes, by my residual knowledge of basic science, you see, it is the center that defines the whole body. It is the center. The attraction of gravity lies on the center. So if you describe an Igbo man as a dot in a center, in a hole, in a cycle, it means we command greater influence, economic-wise, and other facets of human development. We have made landmark achievements. So I think he do not understand what he meant by defining an Igbo just as a dot in a cycle. You see, we command, that simply reflects gravity. We command greater influence. Because everything that goes up, even the center, whatever a matter, whatever that occupies space and has weight is influenced by the force of gravity. And the force of gravity tends to act more at the center. So without that center, nothing else could hold. Without the center holding, nothing else could hold. So if an Igbo are the Biafrans now, when I mean the Biafran, my Ichekiri brothers, Irobo brothers, not just the Igbo. If we decide that the country will not move forward, of course, you just be trapped in in a state of motionless.
There's a recent threat by some Fulani elements to Delta State indigents. The recent threat from Fulani. What do you think of that?
It's quite unfortunate. Let me come now. You are celebrating democracy. I took time to study the demography of Ghana. In 1950, when they had their independence, there were about 5,036,000, I think 146 in population, the population of Ghana. And the current population now is about 31,000, approximately 32 million. The population density of Ghana now, currently. See now, comparing the projected population density of the Nigerian state at this time, some say that there is over 200 million. But let me tell you, international statistics shows that Ghana, that has 31 million plus population, we are able to produce over 3 million metric tons of food production last year. 3 million metric tons of food with their 32 million population. Why the so-called useless zoological republic could only produce the food production rates of the zoological republic, I will want to use zoological republic at this time, is 245 metric tons. 245 metric tons, and you have a population density, an explosion of over 200 million. So indirectly, Nigeria is an impoverished state. How could you reconcile such statistics? It means the country is not viable. Viability, 1 million metric tons. That's why every Nigerian is a hungry man.
But insecurity has been the issue.
Insecurity. Okay, who held responsible for the insecurity? Is it the Ghanaian government? Ghanaian government, of course, took the proactive steps to drive the herders and the Fulani caliphates from their homeland. That is what Nigeria failed to do. I mean, the indigenous people of Nigeria. Now, how could you feed the teeming population of this within the contraction called Nigeria with 245 metric tons of food turn out? It means everybody is hungry. That's why only Gary becomes a rich man food. Somebody, when you are sipping Gary in the research, they will tell you, say you are a hungry man. But even at this time, it's not easily affordable by the Nigerian people, masses. You can see how horrible and devastating the situation is. That's why we say the center could no longer hold. You can't afford. You see, look at what is happening. The debt index, external index of Nigeria stands about over 41 trillion. How do you intend to offset those debts?
No, over 41, 31 trillion.
Okay. Let's assume it is 31 trillion naira, and you are not exporting. You are just consuming. How do you intend to fix the economy? These are fundamental issues that lies unaddressed, and of course, this government or administration is not paying any attention to those fundamental issues. That, of course, you can see that a sitting senator can go home with over 30 million naira. Why it took them almost, of course, even at this time, most of the states have not adopted the 30,000 naira minimum wage. You see, the cost of running the government and all that. I mean, we have no direction. Nigeria Zoological Republic, we have no direction, clear direction. We have no vision or objectivity where they intend to achieve in the next decade. And it's quite unfortunate. We are only groveling in abject darkness. darkness, covered by darkness. And the only way forward for everyone is Biafra and Oduduwa nation. So with all these points I have been able to elucidate, you should understand there is no future for this country. Small time now, in no distant time, people will start eating, feeding on their fellow human beings. The grass, Fulani has destroyed the remaining grass left over and their cattle. So what is now left is to be feeding on, probably Lucky should be the one you feed on. It's quite unfortunate that we are not learning lesson anytime soon. So the only way forward, how can a country live her own citizen at the expense of hunger? Every average Nigerian is a hungry man, and it have turned us to a begging state. We become beggars and corporate beggars. People who are not, of course, who can die for only a stipend or for a porridge of yam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Biafra remains the way forward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lucky.
No be Lagos. Good morning, viewer.
Good
morning.
We are accused here this morning. They accuse you that you didn't go for rally.
No, I went actually that day we. Good morning, viewer. Good morning. My name is Lucky Ayaguna from Edo State. Edo no be Lagos. Actually, this morning I came here to go straight to the point. I don't hear for grammar. Let me tell you what is happening. We have been speaking grammar since 1960. At the end, grammar did not take us anywhere. So let's go straight to the point. One, on that day we finish here, we are about to go for rally. But those who led, we did not see them. I have to go back home.
Like empty grammar.
If I die, nobody will take up my children, my wife. So the little one I'm carrying, let me take care of them. I didn't see anybody. You know, let me tell you, we have more than 60% of youth in Nigeria. The only people we saw there are no more than 20 people in that rally. Where are the rest? Where are the youth? Where are the leaders who said on that day they are going to protest? They all left. So I can't lead. If I die now, who will remember me? Those who died for NSAS today.
God.
Did you hear their name?
God will remember you.
Only God. Let me enjoy this life before before I die. Thank you very much, my brother.
There's a threat on Delta State by Fulani herdsmen. They told their governor, the governor should abandon the open grazing ban. They should rescind their decision. If not, they will cause mayhem in that state.
I laugh. Delta not be Lagos. Delta not be Badon. Delta not be Ondo. Delta, you know the meaning of Delta. It's like the Fulani are looking for war. We don't take nonsense. Edo, Delta, we have the same heart. If they try that, first of all, they will bust all the oil first, and probably will be in Nigeria, you know. That's why you have the highest people who do things without looking back. Delta, Edos, we don't take nonsense. If they try that, again, if they try that, I believe the war will start from there. Do you remember the NSAS? Where it started from? NSAS started from Delta to Benin before it spread to Lagos. Take a look back. So they are just making noise. How can you go there because of open greater? Let me tell you, let's go straight to the point. You know, actually for years, 6 years now, our president have not been able to address Nigeria.
No, he addressed Nigeria.
I know, he has not been able, just on the day of Democracy Day. Because they wake him up.
Nigeria twice during COVID-19.
Due to COVID-19. Okay, agree. You know, some people say he's dead. Some people say he's alive. Now I watch him alive. It's like our president is talking with depression. Our president is not getting himself right. The man is sick. He's not feeling fine. The man is weak.
But
so
he's not dead.
For me,
that is Buhari.
he's not dead. That's Buhari. Let's say the truth. But Buhari is sick. I don't understand that this killing happening for all over the world is happening. This killing by S-men. So Buhari is happy. Boasting that Grazing must continue. That means something is wrong somewhere for me. So he left for the Nigerian people or the governor for South who did the meeting last month. I mean, they should take another stand again and tell the president, no way. Tell your cow to stay in the north, not coming to the south. Otherwise, Buhari is looking for trouble. This remaining 1 year or 2 years, remaining, if you don't take time, that will consume him.
What will consume him?
By the Fulani threatening the Delta people, do you know what can start from there? Yes, is it their land? Is it because we are bringing oil to feed them? They got them drill our oil to feed the whole nation, but we are not talking. Then you now look for your malu to go and kill the farmers, kill the people in the farm, and you are posting. So something is wrong somewhere. So with that statement, I expected the governors again in the south to hold another meeting again and send another warning to the president. But I thank God, the Ondo State governors send another message to the governor, to the president, that no way. And the Benue governors send the same message. For as far as it's the Benue governor, nothing like that will happen.
Okay, let's move on to Ngige. Ngige said that Buhari, no, APC or this government has been fair to Igbos in terms of appointments. Every state is represented in the Federal Executive Council. That is fair enough.
What do you expect, my brother? It's an agent to Buhari.
Has the government been fair to Igbos? That's my question.
Number one is Buhari has not been fair to Igbos. That's from day one. The day he entered president, he said it that Igbo did not give him vote. He said it categorically. He said Igbo did not give him vote.
He did not mention the word Igbo.
Southeast did not give him vote. He said it. Southeast, who are they? They are Igbos. That he will never look into that side. And it's true. That's what is happening. And let me give you the example. Are you aware? Who is Ngige? Ngige is a labor minister. Ask him how many people has he employed in labor market. Ask him. Rather than the people that the business they are doing, Buhari and labor are disturbing them to do the business. Disturbing them to do the business, destroying their business. How much for rent now to import? Who are the one reporting? People are the one importing. But can you import today? So, Ngige, right from the wire, is a controversial person. Is the same Ngige, they lock for boot. The same Ngige, they lock for boot. You remember? So, Ngige, how can you say Buhari aspect to the east? Can Ngige tell me one project that the Buhari is doing in the southeast? Did you remember Amechi? I watched Amechi 2 days ago. Amechi was commissioned about a project. Amechi told the whole Nigeria that train under Buhari is working. Deep seaport that is working. As Amechi, the race started in River State. Has he finished it? You are a minister of transport. How many trains has you take to south? Where you come from? How many deep seaport have you been able to do in south? As a minister of transport, what project has he taken to the south? So let me tell you, our people have lost focus. When the Igbo are struggling to come out for Igbo, but some Igbo are struggling to destroy them. I watched this morning one man called Igwe, Matis Igwe, led pro-Buhari, destroying anti-Buhari. And the man posted and said, yes, that Buhari done well in Nigeria. For me, Buhari brought poverty, Buhari brought hatred, Buhari devastation, Buhari, this has made Buhari problem. So we have a big problem. So under Buhari, we only pray for God to just remove him there. Otherwise, these 2 years, we are going to have a problem. These 2 years, we are going to suffer under Buhari. May God help you, remove you for that post there. Because I don't see a father who will be seeing children dying. Then you'll be praising. Gaza must still go on. Go on where? They can do that in the north, not the south. We don't have time. If we don't eat malu, we go eat bush meat or fish. We don't eat malu. Let it take those malu back to the north. That's my own comment. I'm not here to speak grammar here. Buhari, APC, they are wicked people. Agent, Labour Minister, Ngige, you are a wicked Igbo man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. How you doing?
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. Morning.
How will you look at the way the police handled the protest on Saturday, June 12th?
The police.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was in Ojota before I went to Magodo. What really happened was when they came, I think it's information given to them, the police people, that they now really from the top, they need to let the government. You know, they've collected money. Policemen, they reimburse them for the work, dirty work they did on Saturday. What they just did was to show their paymaster that they are on grant. I monitored them right from excellence there. Gun-touted, policemen. They were all around to quench, but they could not quench the spirit. Actually, I left there very early to Magodo Estate, But the way I see things, we had a lot of tear gas in our faces, but no gun was shot at anybody. I think they know that if they dare try to shoot anybody, I mean, this country will be set on fire. If they dare to shoot, that was the.
They didn't shoot anybody.
Yes, they dare to shoot.
Set on fire.
Yes, I'm telling you, because on they shoot, because people are ready for them. We are ready for them. That once they shoot somebody, I think maybe another answers will come up. Because protest is a right. Yes, protest is a right. Is a right under any constitution. Is a right. You could see what happened in Abuja too, with Adeyanju people. You could see how it was just tear gas. They used to disperse everybody, but the tear gas, they've just started. They will keep wasting that tear gas until our wrong is right, until they put a right to our wrong.
Okay. The government still insists on the grazing routes. The government insists on establishing these grazing routes. People are saying that it's old-fashioned. What do you say about it?
It's definitely old. Or it's archaic. You see this Mr. Buhari, right? You know he's an S-man too. Life of cow is more valuable than human life in this country. And we cannot wait for him to kill us, for him to finish us. And cow will now take over our citizenship. Cow will now take over our citizenship, because the way things are now, cow life is more valuable to him than human's life. And the way things are, the battle has just started. No, we don't want grazing. We don't want open grazing. We don't want open grazing. It is going to turn to any cow you see on the road now. Anything you can do, harm yourself and destroy them. Because cow cannot be competing with human being, for God's sake. Have you heard that one before? Where have you seen that one before? Where have you seen that one? When cow and human being, they compete for life.
They will kill man.
Instead of killing cow, they will kill man. And cow will be moving freely. So that means cow is the first citizen in this country. No, you look at it. There has never been any cow.
They say that is their livelihood.
They said that, so they should use their own livelihood to disturb our own livelihood. Are we not human? Are we not human? You see, these people, as we are now, and I'm going to tell my brothers too, my leaders in this southwest there, I don't even give a damn with anyone. What I'm saying is, collectively, all of them, they should open their brain, because they are converging now. They are assembling in Kara now. According to current, breaking news I'm hearing now. Kara, that's Beggar side. That's what I'm saying. Beggar Kara. Yeah, they've occupied that place now. I don't know what Mr. what's it called? The Sanwo-Olu is doing. I don't know what the Abiodun are doing.
It's Lagos.
It's the boundary between Lagos and Ogun, and these people are sleeping. The governors are sleeping. Abiodun is sleeping. Abiodun should wake up from the slumber. Sanwo-Olu should wake up from the slumber. You have to be proactive. It's not until when the massacre happen before you now start rising up and look at what Makinde is doing now. Look at what he did in Igongon. Look at his failure in Igongon. Now he's just realizing. You know, he joined the protest yesterday. He joined the protest. Were you aware that the governor joined the protest?
He addressed the protest.
He addressed. That means he's part of the protest. He was part of the protest. So what we say now is we need a proactive. If they are not ready to be proactive, we will take law into our hand and defend ourselves. In which the defense minister have really said that defend yourself with anything available. And me, I'm ready to defend myself. I cannot allow cow life to replace my life in this country. That president we have now is a president of cow and the herdsmen. Because he himself is an herdsman.
The Nigerians voted him in.
They voted him in on the pretense that he wants to come in and right the wrong. Actually, you might say the previous government is better off, right, for we citizens. But the end point of it will have been a disaster because people have captured the president there. The cabal have captured the president there. You know, Okonjo-Iweala that was shouting then, they went to his village and kidnapped her for them to have access to treasury, box of Nigeria. Me, I'm not going to be sentimental. I'm not going to be tribalistic. And I'm telling you, before my father died, my father was a party man. But I always tell him, what do you see in this party that you are joining? What did you see? Nothing. They offer you nothing. You are just follow. So I have to tell you the whole truth that every government in power we've been having, they are failure. It's just that they keep getting worse. Jonathan government is better than this government now, and any government that is coming, that is if Nigeria will still be one, it will still be worse off than because the structure is so bad. It's so bad. And who are the people suffering it? They are the masses. They are there feeding fat, living large. Living large. Look at what happened under the previous administration. They were paying 500 million for dead soul. Children of shoemaker, children of come and take job that is not there. You remember the immigration, scam. And the person in charge of that ministry, Abamoro, was still working free. That was why I went mad with that government, the government in power then. Abamoro was still working free because his brother is one of the cabal. That's David Mark. And Nigerians they could not talk. They could not talk on sentiments. And I kept telling my brother from the south east, they had the opportunity that time to free themselves. They had the opportunity to free themselves that time, but they slept in slumber. Truth has to be told.
It takes the House of Assembly for you to split Nigeria.
For you to
take the House of Assembly.
Now, you say you took the House of Assembly. Benue was boiling that time. Benue, Otupo was boiling. Even where David Mark was. So, and the Benue are not central. They can never ally with Hausa again, the Northerners. You know what I'm saying? They use them and dump them. They use them to execute civil war that time. But immediately now they see that these people, they've opened high. They started treating them, they're dealing with them. I mean, the North, the core North, started dealing with the North Central. And you could see now, the most patriotic governor I have today is Autumn. Autumn is speaking loud. He's crying loud. He's crying loud that this government we have is a genocide government. Genocide through cow genocide. I mean, through cows. Because what I'm saying, through cow, the herdsmen, what are they killing for? They are killing because of their cow. Because average herdsmen believe the life of cow is more, valuable to him than the life of human. So the North Central will have supported the South there. You get what I'm saying? Okay. But everybody slept in slumber. They were making that money, they were eating the money, but they forget that there's going to be, they did not save for the rainy days. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
The Yorubas too that were doing follow, for their eye just open now. You know, they were blind before, but they are just seeing. You get what I'm saying? So, in a nutshell, I want to say all of us, we are guilty of this trash we have because we kept silent for so long. We were quiet for so long because of money politics we were paying, because of all these people. And I have to say this clearly: no politician can pay me because my life, my children's life, matter most. No politician on earth can pay me. And I'm still keeping saying I have no godfather in politics. I have nobody I look up to as a godfather in politics among those politicians. That's why I can talk anyhow. I can talk any shit. When they give me shit, I'll throw the shit back to them. I've been living my life on my own. If not God that is protecting me, no government. I've never seen any government around. Because how can you need a job now? The job they advertise. Within that their cabal level, they have distributed the job among their children, among their cronies. They will now throw a vacant position open for you people to scramble on. And that was what led to death of immigration scam, job scam that time. And nobody was brought to book. That was my hangar with Mr. Jonathan.
Okay,
that was my hangar with Mr. Jonathan.
Thank you very much,
And we
Mr.
keep talking. We keep talking until the year.
man.
We keep talking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a passionate one from Mr. Kunle this morning. We are moving towards the end of bystanders at the newsstands. I just want to inform you that you can join Flip TV on Facebook for more updates, conversations, and comments. Join Flip TV on Facebook. The letters are Flip TV. Join us on Facebook for more conversation and updates, and also comments. A wonderful one today. Our reviewers have spoken. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that has commented. All the reviewers online, those Mimi Peace, Eric Info, if I cannot mention the name, a big thank you to all of you for participating effectively on today's program. I have the man behind the camera. His name is Femi. A big thank you to Femi. And also I'm Christian Chuku. If you want to reach me on my Facebook page, Chuku Christian is the name. Chuku Christian is the name. We'll meet same place, same time tomorrow. Bye for now.